welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is someone who is recording this episode from inside of a troll-ridden cave. It's Anande Boetis.
It's time for a change in troll management, Mark.
Now, you're stuck in this cave, and you've been in there for quite some time. I'm amazed there's Wi-Fi. Have any of the trolls let loose some vicious farts yet?
You get used to it, I tell you. You know, like living with masks for the past, 6 months. It's helped. It's helped. Just like kind of imagine you're in a Monty Python sketch and you're fine. Like, you're totally good to go.
I mean, I love that scene in the cave in Troll, the 2010 film Trollhunter, directed by Andre Overdahl, who's been crushing it lately, by the way. His movies are so good. But I love that cave scene where the guy's like, I'm a Christian. And he starts rubbing himself down, then he gets murdered, then the trolls fart. Like, it's...
Yeah, I love the setup at the beginning of the film because, I mean, you kind of knew from the beginning, okay, one of these guys, like, someone's a Christian in this group, someone's gonna, and then it happens in this cave, and it's this claustrophobic scene where, and I love how all the kids are freaking out, and Hans is just taking a nap. He's like, oh, this is just a Tuesday. I'm taking a nap, whatever. And yeah, the guy, what's his name? How do you say that? Carl. He's just like starting to freak out. And like, yeah, you Christian, you liar.
Oh, man. It's so funny too when they bring in a new camera person, Malika. And I like when they're like, are you a Christian? She's like, well, I'm Muslim. And then like, does that affect anything? And Hans is just kind of goes, let's find out. This is interesting.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. Like,
I don't know.
That was a funny moment. Like, I really had a good laugh at that. And did you notice how when they talked to her about her camera work, she was out filming lions and tigers, and she had been out with some major projects, but the camera work got better when she joined. When they were out in the troll territory, just the pans that she had and just the nighttime exteriors that she was shooting. I don't know if you picked like...
Oh, yeah.
It seems
actually.
It seems like they brought in a professional and the camera work got better. So I like that.
Yeah. Bring in a woman.
Yeah, she crushed it. And I also liked all the random white balancing that they kept in. That made me happy throughout the movie.
Yeah. I loved like the whole camera work in general. And like I read Overdahl actually talked about how to do like found footage, because I mean this was back in 2010. Everyone was kind of tired of the found footage trope thing. It's been done to death according to a lot of people. Like I love it. I personally am a fan of the style. But a lot of people were over it, and then Overdahl came along with Trollhunter, and everyone was like, oh my word, like what a fresh take on like the style and the genre and like all these genres really that he does with this film. Like, is it action, adventure, fantasy, horror? And they asked him about the found footage, like how do you, how did you get to make this movie that's both like it's comedy and funny, but then it also really gets like scary and he said like a cool thing. He was like, well, with the documentary vibe, you've got like 3 levels. The first level is where you got the guys that they're doing, the crew is in control, in charge, and they're doing the interviews and the whatnot. And then you've got the second level where they're kind of in between. And that's where we see them like either talking about what just happened or what they plan to do, or like little moments and like threading the whole story together. And then the third level is obviously the running and the scared and the shaky cam. And just like, if you read how he talks about it and you also watch the movie, you can see how like, actually very cleverly he put everything together. You know, you never get, I don't know about you, Mark, but I never got tired of watching this movie. Some found footage movies can get like, oh, okay, I need you to just look away for just like a minute.
Yeah. There's no eye strain at all.
No, not with this. He was really very, and like he kept it tight, because I also read like he had to cut a lot of scenes that he didn't really want to, but he did. And good for him, and because good for this movie, you know, it worked, I think. Oh, it's a tight little movie. What, 90 minutes?
Yeah, it's in and out, just fast. And also, I like how he just thought, he came up with the idea in 99. He's been thinking about it for a long time. And then he went and made a bunch of commercials, and then he came back to this. And there's a few of the simple things he did. He didn't want the camera that shaky. There's some pretty nice, when you're watching this movie, it's kind of like a travelogue it's like a brochure, what's the word? An advertisement for Norway. as they're driving through the beautiful mountains, just the crisp, clear HD, the well-framed interviews. Obviously, when you're running, there's shaky cam, but throughout, they really keep it, like you said, tight. He didn't want it shaky. And so I think it's easy to watch. Does that make sense? It's not amateurish.
Absolutely. I read a lot of reviews that said, no, it could have been 20 minutes shorter. There was too...
Wait, what?
Yeah, they were like... Because a lot of reviews actually said there was too much scenic footage. And I was like, excuse me, it's Norway. It's beautiful. Like, you can show me all the bloody scenic footage. Thank you very much. I didn't think that needed to be cut. Apparently, a lot of people felt that way. That was back then, obviously. I mean, I'm talking about reviews that was like 2011, like after the movie was released in the US. And I was like, nah, I really like that. And again, it gives you those moments in between where, yeah, your eyes and you can just like relax a bit with the focusing. And also, it's so beautiful. I thought it was beautiful.
Why would you not want that?
No, I don't know. People are weird, Mark.
Yeah, you're right. No,
some of them don't even believe in trolls. I mean, really.
Yeah, oh gosh. Yeah, they watch Ernest Scared Stupid. They think it's a fake story. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
But
listen.
Tell me if I'm wrong, but a lot of he wanted to do this a lot, like really steeped in Norwegian culture and myth, like folklore. And so what I love is he doesn't explain much about it. There's little things here and there, sentences thrown in, but Norway, it's about the land. It's about the deforestation. It's about building roads through caves. It's about the environment and the power lines. Oh, I think they're pretty. I love the pylons. They look great. The pylons in the middle of nowhere going in a circle. And I think that's part of it. It's the beautiful land. They're showing the trolls were here. Humans are moving in. They're pushing them out of their places. Bad things happen. But I think you have to establish the forest trolls, the mountain trolls. That's part of the movie. So it's weird that they wouldn't want that in there.
Yeah, exactly. But I think you must remember that, that's the beauty of Trollhunter. It's a monster movie, but it's also a political satire. And that's the thing with satire, Mark. We know this. Not everyone really taps into satire. So I think a lot of people missed it with that. I think they just wanted to show us the trolls, show us the action, show us the running footage, Blair Witch vibes, which is also an interesting thing because a lot of people wanted to put this in Blair Witch territory. And Witherdall himself was like, you know what? It was actually my least, the movie he least went to for inspiration and to put this little thing together. He was like, yeah, of course I've seen Blair Witch. It was back in freaking, when did Blair...
99.
Jeez, when did... 99, yeah, it was in the 90s. So he was like, yeah, he never watched it again, and not for this movie. He had a lot of other, he said Jurassic Park, Indiana Jones, even Ghostbusters. That was the kind of influences or the movies he watched for Trollhunter and putting the whole thing together. Blair Witch was the least of it. So I think a lot of people just wanted to put it in there because if you Google Trollhunter and see what people have written about it and stuff, everyone's like Blair Witch. I actually read somewhere someone said it could just as well be called the Bear Switch Project.
Oh, that's funny. Well, at least that's a good pun.
I love that. Whoever wrote that, I love that. That's really cool. It was a commenter.
Was this bear walking crisscross?
Yeah.
Sassy little guys.
Yeah, when Thomas, takes on Finn with that, it's always, there's a lot of good laughs in this one as well. The first time they take out those fake bear paws and stuff
makes me, and then the Polish guys come in and, walking on the...
It gets me every time.
Oh, it's so funny. And it just, also when he's doing the paperwork for the troll.
Yeah.
It's just the bureaucracy of it, and he's filling out troll forms. It just makes me laugh.
The Slade troll form. Oh, no, it's really good. There's little things, even with the Hans, which is our troll hunter, our amazing troll hunter. He was really good, hey? Apparently he's huge, Norway's huge comedian. But yeah, when the little things he does, like that little transparency sheet he holds up to see if the rocks are still like at the same place where he drew it when he was last there. So it's like these little details that makes it feel so fresh, and I think that's what made this movie so good as well, because obviously it was, Riverdale also said, like it wasn't. He was surprised when this thing went international. It was a movie made for home, for Norway. So it was cool because he didn't have to worry about like having to explain any troll mythology or lore or whatever, because Norwegians know about it. But he still did it so well that even for us, like, outside of Norway, we could still like appreciate and understand the jokes and where everything like, was going and what was happening and what was said. I mean, that says a lot about how good this movie really is and how well he did it.
No, absolutely. And this is a well thought out movie. I like all the performances, but and also too, I don't like movies where like, there's a movie and was like, oh, hello to my 37-year-old wife of 10 years. And you're like, what? who says that? It's just, and also too, I liked how, I mean, they did the classic thing of bringing outsiders in with somebody. So then that somebody has to explain it to these kids. But he doesn't over-explain to the kids, which I liked. I think they gave us just enough to understand it, too. It's not... there's no real massive expository dialogue dumps, are there? They're played humorously. Like, we learned trolls are dumb because one tried to swallow its tail, then it rolled down a hill like a rock, which is amazing.
And the kids are giggling because the troll's head was between its legs. So, like, it's a joke for everybody.
Yeah, it's just silly. And then throughout the movie, they kind of explain, they give you sentences here and here and here. And I like it. You're along for the ride. You're learning just like them. So I dig it. And I have a question. When did you first watch this movie?
I watched this movie, I think, it was a long time ago. And by long, I mean like 6 years ago, 2014. Around that time, 2014, I think.
Yeah, I was a big fan of Magnet, the releasing, like there's a company called Magnet who does a lot of releasing in America. I'm not sure if they're in like your neck of the woods, but they release like 13 assassins.
No one's in our neck of the woods, Mark. South Africa is like the dark hole. No one wants to come here. So we still need to pirate stuff. It's terrible. We have Netflix.
Ooh.
No, it's not that bad. I'm joking, but yeah, it can get frustrating. But I don't know what Magnet is. Tell me about it.
Oh, so they released the movie Goon, which I love. They released they distributed the movie Four Lions.
Love Four Lions.
Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, Innkeeper, VHS, I Saw the Devil, Honeymoon, Ung Bak, Marantu, Tao, Blade of the Immortal, 13 Assassins. So for a while, they were just like releasing in the States all these excellent films. They were kind of releasing them through Magnet. And so when I heard about Trollhunter and I knew Magnet was kind of distributing it here in the States, I just jumped on it immediately. Like, I just trusted the brand. It's like A24 right now. Or let's see, who's the other one that's crushing it right now? They did Portrait of a Lady on Fire, Parasite, Neon. So when I hear about these movies coming out, I'm almost immediately interested. So I jumped on this in about 2011, just because I loved it, and I loved Magnet. So it's cool that you want to talk about this, because I've been telling people about this movie for almost 10 years now. It's so good. It's and
it's like I like that people are talking about it more, but not hardly enough. Like, I mean, even Corey, I had to because the first time I saw it, I didn't watch it with him, and I was like, oh, you need to watch this movie. It's amazing. And he's like, yeah, sure, sometime. When you said, cool, let's do the pod, I was like, okay, well, I'm doing the pod. Are you going to eventually freaking watch this movie with me? And he did, and he loves it now. He's such a big fan. And I'm like, yeah, you dork.
Do you think because it's just Trollhunter found footage, so you can be like, I don't know.
I don't know. I think maybe the fantasy trips some people up. I don't know.